En este canal leemos historias reales de Reddit. Cada historia es más loca que la anterior.
What was the most legendary thing a student did at school?
I realized the person I called dad wasn't who I thought he was.
Parents of Reddit, what's the most embarrassing thing your toddler said out loud in public?
That was the moment I realized I had married the wrong person.
Al final de cada video damos nuestra opinión y dejamos vocabulario clave que hemos aprendido. I drove 13 hours to attend my class reunion and ended up being the only person who showed up. I drove 13 hours to attend my class reunion and ended up being the only person who showed up besides the girl who planned it. I drove 13 hours to attend my class reunion this weekend, and besides the girl who planned it, I was the only person who showed up. The girl who organized it was one of the shyest people in our graduating class, but also one of the smartest and kindest. She had put so much effort into everything: decorations, games, cake, food. She really tried to make it special and fun for everyone. Then the excuses started rolling in. One person said they were sick, another said their kid was sick, but one of the girls who canceled had literally posted on Snapchat the night before, out bowling with her husband and kid. I even called and texted her asking if she was still coming, and she told me she or her family was sick. Then later that same day, she asked me to come hang out with her that night. I just sat there thinking, I thought you were sick. It honestly made me feel awful for the girl who planned the reunion. You could tell she was trying not to let it bother her, but how could it not? Imagine putting yourself out there, spending your own money, organizing everything, and then watching almost everyone flake at the last minute. What really got me is that I lived the farthest away out of everyone. I drove 13 hours to be there. The girl who planned it drove 2 hours. Most of the other people lived in town or maybe 30 minutes away. Afterward, she invited me over to her parents' house, and honestly, we ended up having a really great time together. We rode around on golf carts, looked at our chickens, ducks, and turkeys, and just talked for hours. At one point, she opened up about how lonely adulthood has felt and how she feels like she doesn't really have friends anymore. I paid the amount she originally asked everyone to chip in for the reunion, and she immediately offered to give it back since nobody came. I told her absolutely not. If anything, I wanted to help pay for half because she clearly spent a lot of time and money on all of it. She still refused to let me. The whole thing honestly made me sad. Not even just because people didn't show up, but because someone genuinely tried to create something thoughtful for people she cared about, and almost nobody valued it enough to make the effort. I'm really glad I went, though. I hope she knows at least one person appreciated everything she did. I can't believe nobody turned up for the class reunion. If I were the girl who was organizing, it would make me feel like, why did I go to the effort? At least she had one friend who was there for her, and it sounds like they had a good time. It's better to be the person who puts in the effort than the one who is a no-show. What do you think about today's story? Leave your opinion in the comments below and practice the English you have learned today. Class reunion. Show up. The shyest. The smartest. The kindest. Excuses. Roll in. Kid, sick. Bowling. Husband. Texted. Honestly. Awful. bother. Flake. The farthest. Opened up. Lonely. Chip in. Refused. Genuinely. Thoughtful. Appreciated. What do you think about today's story? Leave your opinion in the comments below and practice the English you have learned today.